Welcome to the programme. As we go on air, judges at the International Criminal Court have sentenced a former Congolese rebel leader for war crimes and sexual slavery. He's Bosco Ntaganda. He was also known as the Terminator. He was convicted of 18 war crimes and crimes against humanity for the killings of civilians in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It happened in the northeastern Ituri region between 2002 and 2003. He became the first person to be found guilty at The Hague of sexual slavery. He's facing now a 30-year prison term. For more on this, let's bring in Catherine Soy, who joins us from Goma in eastern DRC. The latest on the sentencing, pretty much what the court was expected to hand down, Catherine.
Yes, the judges, Peter, are still making that ruling. So far, what they've done is give individual sentences to all the 18 counts. Now they're going to collapse all that into one joint sentence. We're waiting to hear the number of years. Yes, I have just gotten some information from our producer. He has been sentenced to 30 years in jail. That's a maximum that he could be sentenced to. And all this has made, it's been a month, a whole hour that the judges were making this ruling, made a very grim reading. They said they found his involvement in atrocities committed in villages in Ituri province as substantial. The crimes, they said, were large-scale, coordinated, and the aim was to drive out one ethnic community, at least into operations. They said he personally gave orders and was personally involved in some murders. They also said that in one incident, he ordered his militias to shoot at civilians that were fleeing. They also talked about sexual slavery, and Peter, you've touched on that. This is the first time that someone is being convicted of sexual slavery in the International Criminal Court. So people here are saying that he deserves this punishment. They were hoping for life imprisonment. We talked to some people in Ituri, some of his victims in Ituri. We also went to another area called Kiwanja, where people there are also saying that he committed atrocities against them, and they also want justice.
Bosco Ntaganda has been nicknamed by the people of Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo as the Terminator. He's a former rebel leader accused of human rights abuses in several parts of the region. Judges at the International Criminal Court have found him guilty of crimes against humanity and war crimes, including murder, using child soldiers, and sexual slavery. The crimes were committed in Ituri province between 2002 and 2003 by the Patriotic Force for the Liberation of Congo rebel group. Ntaganda led the military wing. Thomas Lubanga was the head of the group and is serving 14 years in jail at the ICC. This man says his two brothers were killed by the fighters.
We lost many family members, sisters, brothers, uncles. We also lost a lot of property.
Ituri might be the focus of Ntaganda's case, but in another town more than 800 kilometers south, victims of a massacre where 150 people were killed in one day in 2006 have been following court proceedings keenly. They say Ntaganda was one of the leaders of rebel fighters who attacked their villages. He said to have been personally in charge of the Kiwanja killings.
Almost everyone here in Kiwanja lost a loved one. Those we talked to said Bosco Ntaganda and the fighters he led accused them of protecting a rival rebel group. They also say they want justice.
Rebecca Onyumbe shows us her scars. She says her husband and one-year-old son were killed.
What's happening with Ntaganda should be a deterrent to others who want to come and terrorize us in the villages. Those people destroyed our lives.
This part of the country has been embroiled in armed conflict for decades. Dozens of rebel groups control remote villages and towns. Campaigners want the government and regional bodies to deal with human rights abuses.
We need a proper court here with proper investigators and justice system. People want to have their day in court and look the perpetrators in the eye. The ICC is too far away and disconnected from victims in the villages.
Ntaganda is the fourth person to be convicted by the ICC. Ndunda Saupa in Ituri says he deserves to be in jail for life. Rebecca Onyumben Kiwanja is still waiting for her justice.
Catherine, what kind of reaction do you think this will generate in the region?
Well, this is really two double-coined, Peter. I mean, people in Ituri we've been talking to will certainly be happy that justice has finally been delivered. They said that they've waited for this for such a long time. But there's also disappointment for those areas because these are people who've suffered for so long. Some of them were maimed, their loved ones were killed. Some of these people who were killed were breadwinners. So they say they also somewhat want reparations. And I mean, just to give you a small context of the Eastern DRC itself, we have many rebel movements or many rebel groups that are controlling remote villages in this area for many years, even when Ntaganda was around. So they say even if Bosco Ntaganda has been sentenced, we still have a lot of security problems in Eastern DRC, and they also want that addressed. We talked to that human rights campaigner who was saying they want a special court to address some of the conflicts that are happening here, some of the human rights abuses as well. So people, on the one hand, happy that justice has been made, that perhaps this will serve as a deterrent to others, but also saying that more needs to be done to provide lasting peace here in Eastern DRC.
Catherine, thanks very much.